Hey, it's Dorleen. Welcome to my channel and my creative life. Today I decided to play in my junk journal. Now, I don't know why I don't go in here more often because I just absolutely love playing in here and just using whatever medium I have. Now, this one, it's not going to be any kind of mixed media. Everything I'm using is acrylic or some kind of paint. I only have a few bottles up in my craft room, so I'm just using what I have, and I always forget about these tubes. So I'm going to do a lot of color mixing, and I'm going to do that right there on this canvas that I have. I've used this for years. I basically just keep on adding paint on it. And the thing that's kind of fun is sometimes when I'm in the middle of it, or depending on how wet the paint is, it kind of picks up the other colors. But I don't think that's the case in today's paint session. So I just grabbed some blue and I added a little bit of white to it because I didn't want it to be that dark. And a little bit of water that I have in my little Starbucks sampler cup that I use. Believe me, folks, I keep everything. My husband never knows what to throw away. But anyhow, I'm just putting a little bit of a line on the bottom there because I'm going to be painting a vase and some flowers coming out of it. Well, my first intent was to just do like a lime, I don't know whether you'd call it a lime tree or just some lime stems, or some branches with some limes on it. It didn't come out the way I wanted it to, so I ended up making it a bouquet. But before we get there, let me just start on the background. I'm just painting everything this really light pink and just doing a really quick, very light covering because I want everything to dry pretty quickly. And then I decided I wanted to do something a little bit different. Now, I wish I would have added a little bit more color in that pink, but I got my same foam brush and I see how half is pink and the other half is white. And I'm just going to go ahead and make just kind of some wiggly lines here and there. Not really any specific pattern or directions. I tried to go on and off the page, whether it was from the top or the left or the right or the bottom, well, the bottom up to the blue anyways. And I'm just kind of swirling it around. Like I said, I really should have added a little bit darker pink because I want the pink to show up. And if you notice it, really the only thing that's showing up is the white. I do go back and add a little bit of color in the pink. I want to say I added a little brown actually. Yeah, here it is. And again, I'm just using the colors I actually have in the craft room. And so instead of using that foam brush, I'm just using a regular brush to kind of darken those edges. You can kind of see it, but I probably should have done it just a little bit darker. But that's okay. This is all in the background. I just wanted to do something fun in the background. And this is kind of like, in my mind, like a wallpaper. So it's not just a plain wall behind this vase. It's just like a wallpaper. So I'm just going to use my heat gun to dry it really quick because I want to keep going. But again, I'm going to be putting paint on top of this other paint. So if you do it while it's wet, you can combine colors. And I really didn't want to do that, or at least not combine the background with the vase. So for some reason, I decided to do green, probably because I had the green tube. Now, the green that I had wasn't dark enough, so I added some black to it. And you can see how it darkened the green. And I absolutely love that. So I basically did like two parentheses on the right and the left side. And then I did this little like lip just to kind of have like a little bit of a lip for the vase. And on the bottom, instead of going straight across, I just did just a slight curve. So over the blue part. So it kind of looks like it's sitting there on that blue wall, floor, shelf. I don't know, whatever it is. I guess it's not wall. I guess it would be floor or shelf, table, something like that. But it kind of just gives that the illusion of it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this vase a little bit. So I added a little bit of olive green and I didn't clean my brush off, or I mean, I did a little bit just to get the water off. But you see how I'm just kind of putting little notches, I'm going to call them, just on the side, just to add a little bit of something. And now I'm going to use the same blob of green, but I lightened it up, and you can see here that I'm just adding white because I want 3 different colors. There's a dark, a medium, and then this is a little bit lighter, and it's just adding kind of a mosaic look over on that vase and just adding a little bit of interest. So now I just put down some brown, and this is where I'm thinking I'm going to do these branches and then have some limes at the end. Now, one thing is I did have some yellow, so I don't know why I didn't do lemon because this was just a lot of green. I don't know what I was thinking, but the fun thing about working in a junk journal, and even if I was on a canvas, I would have done the exact same thing. And I'm this takes a lot to learn. I am not a perfectionist at all. And I am the type of person that if I don't like it, I'm going to either keep working at it, or I'm going to let it dry and then put white over the whole thing and start all over again. So I'm not too worried about making mistakes. I don't care if I invested an hour in this. If I ended up hating it, I would probably just paint over it. So I think that's what I like about working in the junk journal, because this is all just like junk paper or paper that I should have thrown away or doesn't cost a lot. It's really more just kind of having fun with color and fun with what I'm doing. It's very relaxing. It's a very good therapy. Like I said, if you are a perfectionist, then you'd probably hate this, because I think a lot of people get really stressed because they think it should be one way. And again, art should be whatever it is. If it's a pretty thing, great. If it's something that looks ridiculous like this right now, those limes are making me crazy. But again, you see how I keep working on it and I keep just kind of playing with it. And I realized kind of early on that I'm not going to like this, and it just doesn't look good. So I clean off my brush a lot of times, and there's a couple of times where I'll actually change out the water, but I put it on pause and I go and clean it out in my sink. But even as I'm adding leaves, I'm like, wow, that is a lot of green. So there's these green limes, green leaves, green vase, and now I'm just kind of like, we need to add something to fill in where those branches are. So I just kind of took my brush and just kind of swiped up and have these like kind of longer leaves, which have nothing to do with the lime tree. So this is what I'm talking about. At this point, I'm thinking, yeah, I'm doing something more. Now, the other fun thing is when you're painting flowers, especially when you're somebody who's not oh my gosh, I don't know the terms of arts, but this is definitely not anything you would see in nature. I just grabbed some white and I grabbed a really loose brush and I just kind of pounced and made these kind of pom-pom looking white flowers. They are not real. You probably will not find these in nature, but again, I am 100% okay with it. So now I'm kind of taking some more colors. I'm taking some yellow, which, like I said, I think I realized later that I did have the yellow and I probably should have did lemons instead of limes, but blah, 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 blah. And I'm just painting some flowers. Again, probably not any kind of flower that you can find in nature. I grabbed some of that darker pink with the yellow to make a little peachier color. And I'm just kind of doing like U's, like a fat U. And I'm just really long strokes and trying to make them kind of free flowing. I'm going to use the darker pink and I'm just putting little dots here as if they're like some kind of berry or something. And I just do it in 3 different places. Probably could have filled a little bit more of those, but I really, really, really like this darker pink. I think it just adds way more color and just kind of brightens everything. Well, then again, I'm also a pink lover, so of course I'm going to love it even more. But I'm just going back and I'm adding white to the greens because I want to add different colors with the stems. So there's a variety of greens and not just so much of the same hue of green that's on there. I think that the vase part and the upper part, I kind of was putting some blobs of green and then I realized I did not like that. And you'll see me a little bit fixing that. I'm putting the end of my brush, which kind of has little like a circle edge, and I'm just kind of putting little freckles on the limes because in my mind and in life there are those little like pits in a lime rind peel, and so that's what I was kind of emulating there. But it just adds more color and just more whimsy. Again, this is not an exact picture of any kind of flowers. This is just in my mind. It's colors, it's fun, it's whimsical, and again, I'm not too worried about it. I'm adding some white just to add some highlights to those flowers. Now I'm adding just a little bit of yellow in those white bushel flowers, and I'm just playing. I'm adding, like I said, highlights here and there, just trying to add some variety so it's not just blobs of green, blobs of yellow, blobs of pink. It looks like it's just variation of different things. The bottom part I didn't mention, but I just took a darker blue and just swirled on some circles, very uneven. Again, don't care. I'm all right with it. I'm going to try to use this darker green. And originally I thought I was going to outline the entire vase, but it wasn't working that well. So this brush here, I want to say it's called a fan brush. I bought this at one of those art recycling places. There was one down in San Diego where my son lives, and I went and dropped off a bunch of scrapbooking stuff and stamps, and then we of course had to shop in there. And so I got this brush. I think it was like $1 or something. And so it's really just one that I could sprinkle down some or splash down some white. And I love white splatter. And if you follow me, you know that. And if you don't follow me, please do. I do post at least 2 videos a week. One is always scrapbooking, and the other is whatever it is I'm creating in the command center. And in this case, it happens to be playing in my junk journal. And I'm just, like I said, just playing. I have this black pen, and I'm highlighting a lot of things, and it's kind of like a just real sloppy outline just to add a little interest. Like I mentioned, right now I'm using some brown paint that's on that canvas that's left over, and I'm just using my finger, and I'll use a little bit of water to spread it out just to give it a little bit of a shadow on that bottom side and also on the right side of the vase. But this is a really fun project. Like I said, I'm just playing in my junk journal. It's so much fun. If you are a card maker or a scrapbooker only, you could definitely use the same type of techniques with either of those things, especially if you're someone who puts mixed media in your scrapbooking. I do not, which is so weird. I'm very basic on my scrapbooking, but I love getting messy and playing around with new products on or in my junk journal, and also even on my cards. So anyhow, like I mentioned, I hope you do like this video, and if you do, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because I do post 2 videos a week. You can also check any of my playlists. I do have one specifically for junk journal, one for scrapbooking, etc., etc. But anyhow, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And then just so you know, I have so much paint left over, and I am one that I hate wasting medium. So I just went through some of the other pages in my junk journal, and I'm just putting dots and marks and different random things so I can use up the rest of that paint that is on that canvas. So thanks again for watching, and here's just a really quick this is what I'm doing. And at some point, I'm going to do something else with those pieces. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate it so much. Bye.